Teach me how to stand when the ground turns soft. Teach me how to speak when the storm cuts off. I knew how to hate, I knew how to rage, but this gentle blade opens every cage, every cage. Gates and crooked pines, backpacks thrown into the weeds, bellwether fading muffled far, our footsteps pounding soft, almost free. Skipping the stream bell when the world forgot our names. Shoes on stones in the water, cold spray erasing our shame. We were almost free by the river, two ghosts that broke their chains. I remember skipping the stream bell and not going back the same. Rust on the swings and sing shades, winter breath in my lung. It all cried to no spirit of dark, ain't this great from with a stone. He shoved my face in the dirt, laughed a bit into my ear. Sky went wide and red, cold hands colored into spears. Blood on the ground, snow. Small gods are born from their broken noses. I tasted iron, I tasted fear, and swore I'd never bow again. Blood on the playground, snow. Crowd of jackals, ring of ghosts. I rose up shaking, wild and thin. First war, first wound, first hymn. Teachers turned like tired saints. I slid past the circle, his knuckles cracked like ice. My heartbeat cracked the world. I saw my father's boots by the door in the dark. Stand up, his shadow said, so I held myself like a spark. Blood on the ground, snow. Small gods are born from a broken noses. I tasted iron, I tasted fear, and swore I'd never bow again. Blood on the playground, snow. Crowd of jackals, ring of ghosts. I rose up shaking, wild and thin. First war, first wound, first hymn. But sometimes I smell cold asphalt, and that boy still bares his teeth. Blood on the playground, snow, crowd of jackals, ring of ghosts. I rose up shaking, wild and thin. First war, first wound, first him. Loggers like iron, names carved in paint, laughter like arrows. He tastes the taint. Backpack armor, paper shield, shoved to the tiles, teeth on steel, chalk dust halo around his head, 30 cold faces. Wish he were dead. Whispers like insects crawling in his ear. Break him, erase him, they feed his fear. Crown him in scars, the throne of the outcast. Head to the hallways of wrath. Blood on his tongue as he swallows their lives. Child turned to serpent in the furnace of the class. Lunch tray battlefield, milk on his clothes, old bruise yellow, new bruises bloom. Teacher eyes flicker, then look away. Silence the gospel of their decay. He counts each footprint stamped in his spine, carves every insult into his mind. every cruel echo will one day answer back.
Dust on the windows, chalk in the air like ash. I was a child of silence, dragged to the front of the class. Every stare sharp and nail, every snicker boiling tar. His voice, a crooked gallows, hung my name like a scar.
Blackboard etched in a cruel white line, he wrote my shame and signed it with my life. Scars on the blackboard still scream inside my skin, for their laughter, for his pride.
Shook like winter twigs, he made me hold the book. Letters swam, a flood of nights, while the wolves around me looked. My tongue a stone, my lungs a pit, his spit like burning rain. He carved his power into me, spelled my weakness, fed my pain. left like bones in dust. I walk back in, a shadow crowned with rage and rust. His throne of chalk is empty now, but I still hear his name. So I grind the board to powder and breathe in all my shame. Memory burn, be still.
Footprint is my throne, frozen lungs walking through the haze, gloves soaked through, fingers burning, laughing. I bite the air and taste the breaking day. Blizzard ground, I walk alone. Every footprint is my throne. Frozen lungs, I start to roar. Child of nothing, craving more. Blizzard crown, these streets are mine. White horizon, jagged spine. In this storm I finally see how the cold can set me free. Full of knives and stars, school gates behind me collapse in the dark. I am the hush after the passing car. I am the spark in the wire of the storm. They never sold what they could not buy. The world of wolves was clear and cruel, but every wound was honest truth. cause her pain is shot. Every sentence tastes like